Ein herzliches Willkommen, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, hier vom Frankfurter Börsenparkett. Es ist mir eine ganz besondere Freude, jemand ganz Besonderem im Interview zu haben. Es geht um Grenke und die Shortseller-Attacke. Er ist einer von denen, die das Ganze ins Rollen gebracht haben. Ich bin jetzt verbunden mit dem well-known Shortseller, mit Fraser Perring, via Skype-Schalte, und es ist mir eine große Ehre, dass Sie hier bei uns sind. Ich werde jetzt ins Englische wechseln. I'm going to change into English, and it's an honor to have you here on our show, Mr. Perring.
Thank you for having me, Patrick.
The first thing I'd like to know is, you started with ProSiebenSat.1, then you went to Wirecard, and now it's Grenke. You usually go after companies that are listed in the stock exchanges without any warning. The question is, what is the key? How do you pick your targets?
Well, they kind of pick us. It's not really us picking them. The company have to have a number of indicators to warrant any interest, and that's naughty practices, fraudulent practices, and general failings in disclosures that would warrant further investigation. So when we're looking at companies, we can't do anything with them unless they tick our criteria. So in a way, we kind of thank them for picking us.
Yeah, the question is, what is your purpose of these actions? I mean, what's the aim?
Well, our main belief is that it's price discovery, so that when we're looking at a company, generally they're overvalued. They're overvalued because of a number of items. That can include corporate governance, fraud, failings in accounting, and generally that's where it gets us really interested. So by our interest, we believe the market isn't fully aware of the risks. And if companies disclosed all their risks properly, we would be out of a job.
I understand that. So alleged fraud, falsification of the balance sheet, and money laundering, garnished with criticism of the business model and corporate management. What are you specifically accusing Grenke of?
Well, firstly, the franchise system seems to enrich all the formers. The growth, in essence, the company is saying it's a slap in the face, our report. But surely, why aren't investors told about these undisclosed related party transactions that run into hundreds of millions, where basically Grenke AG bankroll it with guarantees, and they say there's no financial exposure to this. But if there was no financial exposure, there's hundreds of millions of receivables, guarantees to specific franchisees, and enrichment of related parties. And they refuse to name those related parties.
Those responsible at Grenke, they reject the acquisition and stand against them. In addition, a special report is supposed to bring further clarity. That's what they want to do. I mean, what is your take on this? Can you clarify that a little further?
Well, the special report could be simplified into naming who the owners of CTP are, Garuna, Softline. They could name why this system was set up, where essentially all the growth, the short-term growth in going into new sectors, it enriches the related parties. It doesn't enrich the shareholders. They could avoid all this by disclosing how many of the non-performing loans are actually within the receivables. They state impairments, but they're very sly in avoiding stating what's non-performing.
I got that. Do you have any further allegations with regards to Grenke?
Well, for us at Grenke have been quite, shall we say, short on the truth. So they say for the past 10 years there's been this agreement with CTP, and they're only saying since the last 10 years because we named it. So exclusively here, we held back another 10 years where we can show that CTP, Softline, and Wolfgang Grenke were involved in the other items that were sold into the company. So that maybe they want to comment on that. Our view is that they have to consolidate all these franchise purchases all the way back to 2000 or 2003, depending how you split hairs. And that's massive.
Well, yeah, that surely is. Last question, Mr. Perring. Is there any other company that you already have an eye on, and might you tell us who that is?
We're currently working on one. We've been working on it for a couple of months. It's got similar lines. It's non-disclosure, some dodgy accounting, some fraudulent practices, and it sort of stacks up on good merit to Grenke. Grenke, amazingly, have now come out and admitted that they enable some frauds and that they have enhanced due diligence. I think you'll see some overlap with that as well, which should be good.
Okay, so thank you very much for the interview, for your open speech, and that you shared your insights with us. Hope to see you pretty soon, and farewell, especially on the COVID-19 things taking place in the UK right now, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. Bye-bye. Ja, liebe Zuschauer, das war das Interview mit Fraser Perring und er hat sich tatsächlich, naja, sehr deutlich geäußert, was den Fall Grenke betrifft. Danke, dass Sie zugeschaut haben und bis zum nächsten Mal.